good.
All right, I'm gonna give you the quick one, Randy, and then cut you out of here. Just your quick comments on your division, the so-called top 9. Of course, you're on the list. I just want your quick reaction on the fighters. What do you think about Thiago Silva?
Thiago Silva's, I think he's impressive, but a little bit more on the one-dimensional side. I think that's been his vulnerability. But he's a great fighter. You better have your boots tied on tight.
Absolutely. Forrest Griffin, who trains is he still at Extreme?
Yeah, Forrest is still one of the guys that I train with on a regular basis, and just the most gregarious personality ever. And I mean, obviously, like Stefan Bonner, one of those guys that's just going to wear it on his sleeve and just put it out there every single time he steps out there. And he's just a great guy. I almost like his interviews. As much as I like to watch him fight, I kind of want to see what he's going to say after the fight.
I won't even interview the guy because I go over to Drysdale and he's too difficult to interview. He's hilarious.
He's a great technical fighter and a workhorse. I mean, I thought I worked hard in the gym. The guy is a savage. Yeah.
What do you think about Nogueira now with the loss and everything? Is Nogueira still considered in the top 10 in the class?
At 205 or at heavyweight? Because you talking about Little Nog?
Oh yeah, Little Nog. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think Little Nog is still one of the top 10 guys for sure.
Have you got a chance to?
I think he's always kind of lived in his brother's shadow. He's just, I don't know. Nobody's ever really given him the credit that's given Big Nog, and
right.
I know that's probably been a struggle for him, but he's still just he's a technical fighter. He's a great fighter. I still think he's one of the top 10 guys.
Have you gotten a chance to look at Gegard Mousasi?
Very, very impressive, and studied some of the things he's been doing on the ground, and see guys from that ground and pound position to knock guys out has been what he did to Babalu, and he's been very impressive.
Is Silva a threat at 205?
Silva's going to be a threat at either weight class. I think he's got the frame to be a 205-pounder. I often wonder how the hell a guy that size makes 185, but he's definitely going to be a threat in either weight class.
Jackson's.
I mean, I love Rampage. I used to train with him a bunch and been in Extreme Couture, and we were represented for a long time by the same guys, Battle, and I don't know how many meetings I came out of with just sore cheeks from laughing so hard. But technically, you got to question what's going on with him and his training environment and his camp, and he's a banger for sure. If you stand around in front of that cat, he's gonna try and put your lights out. So he's got a good enough wrestling background that he can make that a possibility too. He can make it so you have to stand in front of him. Hard to take down, and
absolutely.
I was impressed with his and Danny Henderson's fights. When they fought each other, it was a great fight back and forth.
Shogun.
Shogun, is starting to get his feet under him. It's like a lot of these guys transition from Pride and struggle. It's a different animal stepping in the cage, and the cage tactics and the crowd and the whole thing. And I think he's finally now he's kind of got through the knee surgeries and getting his feet under him, and we're starting to see more of that old Shogun that we got used to seeing in Pride. So, he obviously had a great performance against Machida, and was the first to kind of maybe point out a possible chink in the Machida armor. So,
absolutely,
I look forward to seeing them fight again.
What about Rashad Evans? Can he bounce back?
Rashad can. Rashad is, first of all, a tremendously talented athlete, and I think almost in some ways sustaining some of the knockouts that the Sean Salmon knockout, the Chuck Liddell knockout, was almost bad for him, because then he went out and just thought that was the way it was going to go, and didn't have to rely on his wrestling. Was more selective, and that's just a tough thing to do. You're not going to go out and knock everybody out. You got to find a way to fight and put yourself in the best position to win. And I think because of the knockouts, he strayed away from that a little bit. But I think he's still a tremendous athlete, one of those guys that's, got all the tools. So he's going to be up there for sure.
So the big question is, what does it take to beat a Lyoto Machida? What do you see in Machida that's, beatable?
Well, I think, at least my technical estimation, I thought Rashad had the goods. He just didn't use them. He didn't try to wrestle him. And I think he can't. Machida's got such an odd striking style that if you play around and stay at range and stay in that rhythm, Machida's going to do well. And if you make it ugly and close the distance and get your hands on him and force him to kind of move out of that realm, then I think you got a good chance of beating him.
Mike Goldberg here talking about MMABay.co.uk. That's right, Mike Goldberg, UFC, MMABay.co.uk, the site that Dana has personally told me makes him mental. I've got an opportunity at the moment to speak to its founder and CEO, Michael Pepper. Michael, Mike Goldberg here, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Mike.
Thanks for taking the time. Can you tell me a little bit about the website?
Oh, the website, it was founded a little while ago, a couple of years back, and we've been reporting good quality MMA news from around the world, and forming a lot of friends, including the old Pro Fight Network team, so things are good.
Michael, I've got to ask the question. With a magazine in Europe as well, the one that seems to be supported by my company, they seem to take a lot of stories from you. How do you respond to that?
I try not to give them the time of day, to be honest. I find that speaking about them is like free advertising for them. So, and as we're getting far more viewers on our website than they are on theirs, I feel it's only to their detriment.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for taking this time out to talk to me, Mike Goldberg, about a website that makes Dana pretty mental and makes all the fighters pretty happy. That's mmabay.co.uk. Visit mmabay.co.uk.